Sick. Great. Fantastic.
Right then.
What else you want me to say? Anything else?
I would just say all the stuff about United game. Touch on a couple other games.
We've started.
Is this it now?
We've
Yeah?
started. We're already in.
Episode 12, there
He
you
was
go.
he was like, listen, we've already planned the show, but he's planned it. We're in. We're going right into the thing.
We're rolling now, so
Like,
we're not going to stop.
Diving into the deep end, even though I can't.
How are you, my brother?
Oh,
Come on, give me a hug.
Start.
Come in.
Oh, come here.
Yeah.
I love you, lad.
I love you too, mate. We've just beat. Actually, before, yeah.
Have a sip. Have a sip.
Did you just bang that off your tooth?
Yeah. That's it.
I heard that. That's going to be hurtful.
Nah, it's actually custody. I've already chipped this tooth, probably in that similar fashion. But that's not what we want to talk about today. We've got to talk about how we absolutely smashed them yesterday, lads. And that's where you've got to start. And that's probably where we're going to end. So this is just going to be 1 hour of us chatting madness. And I don't even know where you start. I don't know what to say.
Should we just call it the Old Trafford special?
Yes.
Or the Mould Trafford special?
Yes.
Mould or cold?
That's fine.
Mould Trafford, cold Trafford.
Everything was perfect. Shout out to the away fans that turned up there. Obviously, our boy Welford was there. He smashed it with his
Oh my
vlog as
God,
well.
Welford.
He's killing it.
proud of
Welford
you.
gets a round of applause.
Proud of you, Welford.
Because he's smashing it. But
This channel's not doing too bad either as well.
oh
by the
no,
way.
thank you very much for
The
supporting
vlog
this
is
channel.
flying.
Thank you very much.
The vlog is flying.
Yeah,
and
your
we're doing
support
well.
means more
Thank
than
you.
you think. But the way you start off with that performance, there's no word that just describes it. But you know what? Before we talk about any of the goals, any of the hilarious moments, because the game shouldn't have been on Sky Sports, Alex. It should have been on Comedy Central, because it was just one of those.
Should have been
games.
on Crime Watch.
It was just one of those games. Everything was perfect. But shout out to the away fans who were getting the chance in all game. Obviously, the Ollie chant that they had, that was brilliant. Like the way we just took over that stadium. Because what is football about? Or what I love football the most, winning and winning against your rivals, because that's the funniest part. And the thing about yesterday's game is you saw that video and the fans, like in the Manchester United lower section there, just there like, no way, they're speechless.
Yeah.
And then even like, Paul Scholes sucks his daughter's toes, Paul Scholes sucks his daughter's toes. It's just brilliant. There's one person who started that and then just continued it as the game went by. It was just a perfect occasion and one of the best days of my life.
We literally violated them in their own house.
Yes.
It was like going into someone's house, jumping in bed with his missus whilst he sits there and brings you in a cup of tea and some toast after.
Yeah.
And you put his clothes on, take his car and just go to work.
Yeah.
You violated him.
We absolutely...
Violation in your own yard.
Lack of a better term, we fingered them, lad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not being funny or not. Manchester United got done in yesterday. And there was Manchester United fans who thought they were going to win. There was, I don't care, because like there was a lot that... Flex was one of them. And there was many more. There was some that were obviously more realistic, saying a draw or a loss. But I mean, I think, what did I say going into the game? And I'm not trying to be like I'm right, because this was just obvious. If we play the way we have been playing, or even half as good, and they play the way they've been playing, then believe me, Paul Scholes, even though obviously he's had a madness, he's actually kind of, in a way, saved himself as well, in a weird way, because he made a great point going in after the Atalanta game, and it was 100% bang on. Because even the Villarreal game where Manchester United got snotted, they were conceding chances. They were good, but they never had the quality. Like, Johnny Boy, they've got Gerard Moreno, he was out that game. They never had proper quality to put them goals away, whereas we do. We've got multiple players, and you've got to shout out to all the players as well, Alex, because they turned up yesterday. There was a few changes. Fabinho had an injury, which obviously we hope isn't too serious. Mane never started. Matic never started. Keita did start. Keita got injured. That was stupid from Paul Pogba, but I'm sure we'll get onto that. But I just have so much love for these players, and I've always loved Liverpool, and that love will never lower, but there's just a certain love I have for these set of players and this manager. It's amazing, lad.
This was the kit as well we were wearing. It's the first time we've ever wore this kit. Trust me, if you want to try and buy this now, it'll be sold out everywhere for months. Even I think it already has been, but 100%. What a kit, and what an atmosphere it was in Klopp's. In Klopp's? Wow, that's
it's all over the gap. He was here 12 hours ago, so you've just got to bear with him today.
My voice is gone, but yeah, we move. But in Jurgen's last night, the atmosphere was unreal. Go back and watch the vlog if you haven't already, but we were speaking to very happy people outside of here. There was one guy who tried to get on and then realised, I'm on the run, so he didn't go on. But no, some great people we met there, and that's what we're going to do. Let us know in the comments as well. if you think we should continue coming to Jurgen's for these vlog away days. We are going to Preston on Wednesday though. Hopefully you'll be coming with me as well.
And get yourself down to Jurgen's as well.
Get yourself down to Jurgen's. But yeah, I think we'll call this the Old Trafford special then, and we'll just talk about the game, because from where I was watching it in here, it was almost as if they made a big mistake that led to a goal every 5 minutes for the first
they were
40 minutes.
They were really bad.
Yes, like we were saying this before we filmed, we weren't especially outstanding. You said we were playing at 50% yesterday, but it was tipped over the edge by how bad they were.
Yeah.
Some of their mistakes, like Maguire and Shaw bumping into each other. But if you did that in school, you'd still get a bollocking for it by your PE teacher, which Ollie is a PE teacher.
People forget that half of their team is average. And I'm not just like, they still should be competing for the league title with the attacking quality that they've got. I believe if they had a Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, Antonio Conte from the start of the season, I believe they're much more in that conversation for a longer period of time. I still don't think they win the league, because Harry Maguire for me is a bang average mid-table centre half, and I think and he is, and people are trying to come up with these excuses like that Varane weren't there, so Maguire's just got, Maguire is just this bad. Before Varane was there, he was still making these mistakes. Luke Shaw had a great season last year, do not get me wrong, but he's also had 6 seasons before that at Manchester United where he was also very, very bang average, and a lot of times this season he's been caught out of position. Against Everton he had a very similar case scenario, and then even if you look at the other hand side, Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka's probably he's probably 8th, 7th best right back in the league, and if you've got that, you've got an average right back.
Let's name right backs better than him then.
So then Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James all day. On top of that, I'm already I put Tarek Lamptey. I've watched Tarek Lamptey for Brighton, and I think he's a better fullback.
Kyle Walker
100%.
Cancelo's the right back.
Cancelo definitely, like there's not even a doubt there.
Seamus Coleman.
Hey, back in his day, Seamus Coleman was a show, no. But now, I think Wan-Bissaka makes a lot of direct errors. Not yesterday was his fault, but I just don't rate him that highly. I think bar his slide tackling game, which again I think is overrated. Don't see anything special in him, and then don't even talk about the 2 midfielders that are sitting in front.
Well, this is it. When we were in here yesterday and we were looking at the team news, what was your reaction? Because when I saw it, I was a bit like, how is there no Fabinho in this team? Kanate starting.
Yeah.
Wasn't too mad about Milner, because that's the type of game you do want James Milner to play in. He scored in this fixture before for us, so I'm not mad at that. But time and time again, Klopp chooses a team that might raise a few eyebrows when it drops. Then at the end you're going, he's a fucking genius. Every time he knows what. And who was it yesterday said if any player could have come on and played for Liverpool yesterday in any position, and they would have known what their role and their job is. He can interchange them so much. But when I saw United's team, I was thinking, Fred and McTominay in midfield. Let's go. Let's go
all over them. There's actually a shout that Paul Pogba never started because of the interview that he done the other week, and it was like something needs to change, but there was a certain way he was implicating it as if it was at the manager. Either way, even if Pogba plays, I don't think it makes much of a difference. I think his head's gone underneath that manager. I think he's still a great player. But the thing about our lineup, I saw no Fabinho myself, and straight away went onto Twitter and was like, what is up with Fabinho? Because it was birthday yesterday's there singing Adele on his piano and shit like that. He looked custy, do you know what I mean? And then now I find out he's got a knee injury, so again, let's hope that's not too serious. But Milner done the job that he needed to until he went off the pitch. Naby Keita, of course, went off. You've got to bear in mind, Fabinho goes into the game with no injuries. Just to bring it on at Terry Dana for a second. Milner goes off the pitch, and then Naby Keita also goes off the pitch.
And Elliott's already
3 more midfielders that time, with Thiago out, Harvey Elliott. So we're in a bit of a predicament there. I thought Oxlade-Chamberlain came on, sound, but I just...
Begs the question though, who's going to play midfield on Wednesday night against Preston?
God knows. Probably Curtis.
It would have to be. Redmond might even have to play that.
Tyler Morton, maybe.
Really?
I know it's against certain level opposition, but I think he has a good performance against Norwich for 45 minutes, and we're lacking options at the moment. So Milner and Naby Keita aren't available, which I'm assuming at least one of them aren't going to be
I'd say both aren't.
I also agree with that.
So Hendo might even have to captain this side.
Maybe. But listen, Preston, you should beat them regardless what line you go out with. In this game, I just think to myself, Fabinho not starting, that was going to be a huge problem. You can find holes in our midfield and break us down. How do you win games of football? You win them by winning it through the midfield, winning the midfield battles.
Yeah.
And he's done that to a T. And even James Milner, like him starting, it's his type of game. He's a former Man City player. He currently plays for Liverpool. He's played for Leeds. Name one more player who'd be more up for this game than James fucking Milner. He is amazing, by the way. He was the best 35 plus year old on the pitch.
Yeah.
Even though Ronaldo got that.
Oh yeah, Ronaldo's 36.
You know what I mean? So I just, that was just
Good
a
match.
little slight tick there. Now I love James Milner, lads, and he's a legend at this club for a reason, at least in my eyes he's a legend. And the way we handled everything when players went off the pitch, we just always looked in cruise control. It just did not matter in the slippery slightest. The forwards, Mo Salah, I don't even know how we've got to 10 minutes and haven't touched on Mo Salah, but it's because we talk about
There's
him.
too many talking points though.
It's the
Talk about
same,
yesterday, but
it's the same thing over and over and over again. And
goals
yes, it's against
as well.
the average defence, but he's doing this against City, Chelsea, United, big Atletico Madrid. Like he's scored in all these games, 10 games in a row, and also 14 goals in them 10 games. These are numbers in the Premier League. Like, you see Haaland doing them numbers in the Bundesliga, you're going to wank over them. If Salah's doing, he's doing them in the Prem.
away at Old Trafford.
In a side that in most people's eyes was not going to be in the title race.
You know,
and people can't talk about injuries because we've got injuries.
Yeah.
We've actually got injuries. We had one of our main midfield players who is so vital to our build-up play out of the side. So how can we then expect the same results? But it was the same results. You want to tell you why, Alexis? Because Salah is just that damn good. He's just that damn good. He's the best player in the world right now. I do think if he carries on this form, Ballon d'Or becomes a thing, because beforehand my thing was Messi's just won his thing with his country. But Salah is just undeniable, inevitable, and everything in between.
I want to talk about the goals. The first one gets whipped across the box, and if you actually watch it back, he senses what is about to happen. Keita does so well and kind of reverses it to Trent, and already you can see Salah going, if I can just get in front of this defender, I know that ball's coming. But if you watch the slow-mo, he whips it in and it's his right foot, and he just passes, and it makes it look so easy. That's a tough finish. The second goal, what can you say about that? He squeezed it in a gap that De Gea could never even
Salah's
get
second
to.
goal.
What a finish!
People don't mention
on
the
his shots,
finish,
though.
on his the fact that his finish is improved, and he's more clinical now. He's getting less chances but still scoring goals. He's creating chances. He's becoming less of a goal handler.
If he's had 3 shots in a game now, there is every chance that he scored a hat-trick in that game.
Yes. But that's just the form.
3 shots, 3 goals.
He really is just on that type of form. You can see even that Sky Sports interview, he's just a perfect player, the way he's talking about the club. And it could be PR from his agent, like, make sure that he stays sweet with them all. Could be. But I genuinely think he believes it. I think if he had it his way, he would be at this club. And I think, he's just that much of a legend.
The third goal as well. I mean, that pass from Henderson. Oh my!
But people won't talk about it because it's Henderson.
They won't.
I was getting
Gerrard
told,
v Fulham, Sturridge goal.
Yeah, I was getting told all fucking, not even all week, all season, last season, when I talk about Henderson and the fact that people underrate him and whatnot, and he's a very overhated player. Like, when I say he's a decent passer, people look at me as if, what do you mean? It's like, he would not be in the Liverpool team if he couldn't pass the ball at a decent level. Outside of his foot, perfect weight on the pass as well, not to mention, because anyone can do an outside of the foot pass. It's about getting the weight right. That was perfect. And then Salah, obviously, he does that little thing where he nearly fumbles over the ball because he's just that quick, and then that finish. So people will not mention, any more last second, it goes right into the hair because he was just that quick.
Because he gets his foot just quickly to it.
And he takes it, the ball. It does like a jump and then a dive. It was madness. But that's a world-class finisher. And then you need players like Henderson to turn up in them moments and realise that pass. It was literally perfection. Perfection.
Still getting over it.
Can I tell you? We haven't even talked about
Nate, bro. Did you see when Ronaldo did that waste man business, gobshite stuff?
That was
Campbell said last night.
We'll talk about that as well.
To Curtis Jones, and then Robertson runs over, gives it all this to Ronaldo, and then Van Dijk comes, gives him a fucking
Bruno pushes Van Dijk, and then Kanate just comes and pushes them.
He was a big man by pushing Van Dijk, and then we just see Ibu come around and go boom, and then he goes.
No, mate. Lad, Kanate is just. You saw he was up for the occasion. You've got to bear in mind, this was his first start, and I don't care how poor United are. they've still got good attacking quality, and it was at Old Trafford. That's an occasion where they can get to you, especially for the young lads. He's only 20 or 21. Like, he's still a
Ronaldo's goal, you know, he could have done better there.
Yeah.
The goal that was this.
I'll agree with that one, but he was offside,
yeah.
and which Kanate had an involvement with. Do you know what I mean? So that means Kanate's then going to have to come
run
back, and then as he's built momentum, Ronaldo, it's easy for Ronaldo to cut back. So yeah, he could have done better, but he was offside, and he was offside because our defenders.
Did you celebrate when that?
I also celebrated here, mad. I was laughing in the faces. It was that's why he should have been on Comedy Central. Everything went perfect. 5 goals, clean sheet, Salah hat-trick, Ronaldo offside goal, Pogba red card. All these things that
Ollie at the wheel.
We pissed Ronaldo off that much. He's kicking teenage scousers. We pissed him off this much. He was rattled, bro. He was actually rattled, mate.
That's the first time I've seen him proper rattled like that.
And good. And people were saying, "Oh, it's good that he was rattled." No, it's not. You shouldn't be going around kicking people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know people kick the ball, but still, like, it was in that area. Muppet lads, absolutely wet wipe, and I made up that Curtis Jones got the last lap because he fucking deserved it.
And Trent could have scored as well. That strike, that's a great save. That
again, everything's done nothing wrong. The one positive I'll give United, like, he conceded 5 goals, he conceded 4 against Leicester. He's done nothing wrong in both of them games. There was genuinely nothing he could do. I mean, I think the goal that Salah scored, his 3rd one, where he flicks it over, Henderson pass. I think Alisson would maybe save that, just because he's so good at time and
makes himself
big. I think De Gea's not as good, but it's still not his fault. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was defensive errors being too open at the back, but our defence, they done what they needed to do. There was only the chance from Bruno, otherwise there was no threat from Manchester United for the whole game. And again, it gets to a point where sometimes, like, you know, some games there'll be where their attacking quality is just shining through. Even when it's low like that, they've still got the individuals to create a moment of brilliance. And because of that, there's always a threat, and mate, there was just never ever any threat from them besides that chance early on. It was boss, it was perfect.
It literally was perfect, and you just run out of words in the end. I mean,
but what was more perfect, I think this is a good little debate that I suggested to you before we start. Get it in the comments down below as well. What was the better derby, or not like the better match that Ronaldo last played in? So either the one that Ronaldo just played in, where we beat them 5-0, or the 4-1 in 2009, Ronaldo's last game at Old Trafford against Liverpool.
Was that his last game?
That was his last game before he went to the...
Wow.
Before he went to Real
I mean, listen, they won the league that year.
Yes.
So I can't pick that.
But it was in a situation where we were in a title race, they were the best team in the country, and we still fucking snotted them.
Yeah.
Gerrard kissed the camera. Yeah. Like, because recency bias...
But they had the last laugh.
What?
They had the last laugh, because they won the league.
Yeah, I know, but that's in hindsight. I mean, I'm talking about
just the actual game.
When you talk about the game and when you talk about what actually went down, because we weren't expecting to beat them 4-1 that day. Think about the goals that we scored as well. Vidic went on his ass. Yeah. Fabio Aurelio scored an amazing free kick. Gerrard kissed the camera. That's more. That can't be more of a perfect day, surely. That I'd say 2009, but 5-0 yesterday was up there as well.
Oh mate,
do not get me wrong.
That's the best.
Do not get me wrong.
Liverpool away from home.
Because what are you going to say? Like, if we don't win the league this year, what, like, this result doesn't mean as much.
I think we will though.
I know, I think we will, but I mean that's besides the point.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go for yesterday, man.
Yesterday, I'm gonna say 2009.
Let's know in the comments though.
Just because of how good United was at that point as well, but that's just me though.
Yeah, so many talking points, and obviously we've all just been up all night watching videos, drinking in the content. You see when Klopp give it a whole unbelievable.
He's done that against AC Milan, yeah, that was the first time I've ever been a part of one of them Klopp pumps, and I just think this manager is different to anyone else. And like, I was even having a debate the other day about who's the greatest manager of all time, and just to try and like improve me, they were the Man United fans, so they said Sir Alex. I then put the argument in for Shankly, and the reason why I put the argument in for Shankly is because he got us from the 2nd division and built a sort of what this club is about. He let us know the foundations of the football club, and then when he left us in the perfect hands. Sir Alex, on the other hand, even though he won more trophies and whatnot, he didn't leave United in the best position, proven by recent years. I'm not saying that to
left them as champions.
He left them as champions, but I mean, how good were we when Bill Shankly left? How bad had Man United been? That's Sir Alex himself who achieved them things. That was just me trying to improve my argument, though, do not get me wrong. They're both fucking elite managers in their own fucking right. Recent history, no one touches Sir Alex. But what was the point of me saying all that? There was a point that I forgot.
Talking about Klopp.
Yeah, so with Klopp, it just feels like even if he goes, there's just going to be foundations there built within the football club that it's at least going to have us challenging for the next few years, and I think that's all a good manager can do. He's not just thinking about the here and now, he's thinking about West League.
Yeah, no, and Salah, just to touch on him again, the amount of records he broke yesterday, again, it's like every single weekend. First one to ever score a hat-trick at Old Trafford.
How much that, by the way, that no one's ever scored a hat-trick at Old Trafford? That's
Apart
actually impressive.
from a United player.
Oh yeah, like, but it's
away game, yeah, for us. He also broke the record for being the highest scoring African player in the Premier League, went past Drogba.
Wow.
He also broke the record for 10 games in a row for Liverpool. He also broke the record for...
It's all so stupid that is. Look how long Drogba was in the Premier League and the teams that he played for. Because people like to say Salah's only good because the teams that he played for.
I thought Drogba scored more goals, to be honest.
From what?
Like in the league, he only got 104.
You say only? There's a reason
why
that's a lot.
Drogba, you
what Salah's
150,
doing,
160, 170.
I hear you, but like Salah is just doing that many crazy things. It makes that look like not as good. That's still amazing. Mane getting 100 goals, that's amazing. Because half of that was at Southampton. Like, just think to yourself, like Mane getting 100 goals weren't glorified the way it was Salah, because Salah's done in a certain space of time. That just makes it ridiculous. And you know, you set an expectation, you set a height. No one sets the heights like Salah has in terms of numbers. And the best thing is, he's not just a stat player now. I thought there was an argument that he might have been at the start of Liverpool. I never agreed to it, but I still thought there might have been an argument. Now though, it's undoubted, undoubtedly, that he's a much better player than what he was when he first joined. Do you reckon he'll break his record? 32 goals in the Prem. He is going to be going away for African Cup of Nations, but I believe that'll only be a few games because he's with Egypt.
Yeah.
I don't think they stay in the competition too long.
I would love to see it happen.
How many goals is he on?
In the league, I think he's got 10, maybe 4 in the Champions League.
Okay. Yeah. Bro, what month are we in? He's on 10
if
goals.
If he scores against Brighton on Saturday next week,
are we in October?
I'm pretty sure he's broken the record. It's October the 11th. Yeah.
Lad!
Well, no, it's not October the 11th, what I'm on about. It's the 25th.
Yeah, 25th of October. Are we mad, lads? He's defo breaking that record. He's on 10 goals. He's probably going to miss about 4 games. He doesn't get injured anyway. Touch wood. Like, I reckon he'll get 35. If he stays fit and he's there for the majority, 35 games. If he has 35 games or 34 games, he'll break that record. He's scoring more goals than what he's played in. Yeah. And also, isn't he like 1 or 2 games away from breaking Vardy's record?
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah. I think then if he scores against Brighton, he equalises that record. Then the game after that is...
Lad, this guy is a joke.
Maybe...
This guy is a joke, lad. He's a joke, lad. What the fuck?
He cannot leave. Anyway, let's talk about some other results that happened this weekend. Everton. Now... You know, outside Jurgen's here, there is a picture of Rafa Benitez holding up the European Cup with Liverpool.
Yeah.
It was mentioned 1 or 2 times last night. So they were 2-1 up on the 70th minute, and they lost 5-2 at home to Watford. Agent Rafa.
That's what he went there for. Finish the job. Finish the job. Doesn't matter what manager they get. Them blue shites. It does not matter what manager they get. Whether it's someone as average as Roberto Martinez, whether it's someone as promising as, what's his name, that Silva fella who joined from Marco Silva, even if it's someone as world class and elite as Carlo Ancelotti, it doesn't matter. The same is the same. They are embarrassing. That's like they've got history and all that, but when it comes to talking, comparing themselves to Liverpool, they know they can't do that no more. They couldn't do it anyway, but they tried. Now, I am so sorry. It's like they've been through that many different stages, that much hope, the new owners, which has done fuck all so far. They're making a
Is the new stadium going to happen?
All this bollocks, it just makes you think to yourself, Everton are a joke of a team. But it makes our result against Watford look all the more better.
But about Watford though, they've conceded 5 against us, and then they've scored 5 at Everton, and Josh King, who didn't score any goals for Everton in 11 appearances, scored a hat-trick against them at Old Trafford and celebrated it to fuck.
Josh King's last goal, a professional goal before he joined Everton, was against Everton. Before he joined them on loan or whatever it was against Everton. Then he doesn't score at all in the period of time with Everton. Leaves Everton, scores his first goal against Everton. and then gets a hat-trick.
In there, gaff.
He hasn't scored for Watford yet. That was his first goal, and then his next 2 was his second and third.
That's unbelievable. That.
How mad is that?
Only Everton.
That's a joke.
Only could happen to Everton, though.
And do you know what? Everton is just one of them things. Like people were saying, Rafa could win them a trophy, Rafa could do this. They're already out the League Cup, and they're already doing very, very average in the league. It does make you think to yourself, how long do Everton fans persist with Rafa? Because we got to a point where it was like, how are Everton fans going to react with Rafa? And then we got to a point where it was like, right, they're putting up with him now. How long will we do that for? How long do you reckon?
Well, we know, end of October. Well, I don't know if you saw the video, but they were going ham after full time at Goodison Park in the Gladys Street end, like to the point where they were all staying behind really and just shouting abuse for 20 minutes on the pitch, which is probably deserved if you lose 5-2 at home. However, I think he's not going to get the luxury of time that he had at Newcastle because they were in a transition. You know, he was a bit here, neither there. He got them solidly up there. He didn't need to do any more or any less.
Yeah.
But Everton, the expectations are much more. Especially when he plays in the derby as well. He's going to realise what he's going to realise.
That's the way he
the night he plays at Anfield. I don't know when the first game is, or we go to there.
December, I think.
Yeah. The night that happens, he's going to know whether he has or has not the support of the Everton fans. After that first goal that we score, which we will.
Well, if we win against Everton, which we're very likely to win if we're in this type of form, Rafa Benitez will be having his name sung by Liverpool fans.
And then that's enough in a lot of Everton fans' eyes to get rid of him.
The stadium will be booming Rafa Benitez. What would you think if you were Rafa Benitez in that situation?
It was like Ollie.
Obviously I know you would, because obviously Liverpool through and through. But say if you did end up like managing Everton after managing Liverpool, and you were in that situation of Anfield and everyone's singing your name when you're about 3
It'd be hard not to laugh, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be hard. You'd be there going.
Like deep down, you'd be like, up front and close, you'd be like, for fuck's sake. But deep down, you'd be like, I love these cunts.
Yeah.
I absolutely like that. That's what Rafa will be thinking. Yeah. He'll be talking to Jürgen and being like, so 2024?
Yeah.
Is that
okay.
Hey, would you ever take Rafa back?
No.
I wouldn't.
Time's gone, man.
Time's gone.
And yeah, time's way past Rafa coming back to Liverpool.
Imagine if he won something with a Stoke joint back. That'd be so funny, you know.
Very good. Listen, no, it won't happen. But I think, in answer to your question, October now, I would say if it's the same, and when I say the same, I mean losing games. And sitting 10th to 15th. If that's still a thing by end of Jan, it's gone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
January. Yeah, but you know what as well? Though they put that much investment into him, and when I say investment, I don't even mean with money. I just mean you've made a big decision in going with Rafa Benitez. You took the backlash, like you can't got to
sit on that decision for
right. Exactly. You don't want to just make that decision. Like, why are they bringing that in? Because then it's negative publicity towards the owners of the club.
And so, if they sack him, they're going to have to pay him loads of money.
And you've got to also understand. Everton have money.
Well,
Everton do have money, they just can't spend money. And that's where Rafa has an excuse, because what's his signings? A free Andros Townsend, a 1.7 million Amari Gray, Solomon Rondon. What do you want to do with a load of shite like that? Let's put it down Everton's team.
They did draw at Old Trafford though.
They're only good players. Yeah, but United are shit as well. Now. Exactly. Like, when you look at their team and you break it down, the only top class players I think is actually in that team are Charlison, Digne.
Calvert-Lewin's a good player, I think.
Yeah, and then that's it.
Sigurdsson's in jail. I mean, allegedly. Sorry.
But even if you break down the rest of Pickford, shite. Michael Keane, very average.
Very average.
Mina, average. Like, that's like proper.
Coleman passed it.
That's proper like Lovren and Scale-esque defence.
That's like Kyriakos and fucking. Who else played with Kyriakos? It was Carragher, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mostly, but no,
just a very like they're not. You don't put them in the top 5 or top 10 best centre backs in the league. No. Just like the way you have, like Everton just feel like what we did at our lowest point, which I just think is hilarious because they're like that every season. Like, a good season for them was 13-14 when they got 5th. We got 2nd.
Yeah, wow. How times have changed. Not for them though. Not for them. Other big games in Europe, Real Madrid won at the Bernabeu, at the Nou Camp. And I don't know if you saw the video, the manager of Barca, Ronald Koeman, who actually, as we all know, was at Everton, got pumped by us.
Yes.
His
Wait,
car...
did Real Madrid lose?
No, Barca lost at home to Real 2-1. Alaba scored and Lucas Vasquez, I think, and then Aguero scored his first goal for Barca in consolation 97th minute. But Koeman's car was attacked as he was driving out the stadium.
By Barca fans?
Yeah. So as you can imagine, he's in his car, and it wasn't like a big car; it was just like a coupe.
Standard.
Yeah. And he's coming out, and there's people throwing shit at the windows, like banging on. You can't. But that's the level of pressure and expectation, whether it's right or wrong, that you are going to face when you're at Barcelona, especially in this form. When, let's be honest, like they lost Messi. This is probably the worst ever time in our lifetimes to be a Barcelona fan, I would say.
Yeah.
And he's just not winning games. Coutinho's not even playing. Not that I care about that, but you looked at their starting 11 yesterday.
It's not
got
special.
some kid called Prayers, and Coutinho's just on the bench with Aguero, and it's like, fucking hell, why have you brought these two there?
They fell off though, like it's the thought of...
It's the pressure that leads people to mess your car up when you're inside of it.
That's mad. That to me, I just can't condone in any way, shape or form. Even if, like, under Roy Hodgson, I'd never go and smash his car up. Even though he probably deserved it based on what I was seeing on the pitch. Man, nearly had us relegated for a moment there. But I just mean, like, you can't do that. There's still people, like, they make mistakes. But Barcelona's a mad one, because I've even said this thing to you before, this thought, this possibility, the fact that in 20 years' time, when we're talking to our kids about, like, you know, oh, Dad, who was the greatest player when you was growing up? And you talk about Lionel Messi, and then they talk about Lionel Messi because they probably heard of him before, but then they're like, who did he play for? Just for clarification, and then you're like, Barcelona? Who's Barcelona? Who's Barcelona? Because they probably won't follow La Liga at first. I mean, Barcelona, mid-table team, which I reckon they'll come back.
Sociedad are at the top right now. David Silva.
That's mad.
Real Sociedad are at the top. David Silva is the captain of Real Sociedad.
Really? David Silva's actually a baller, you know. He's actually a joke.
He destroyed us a lot.
We nearly signed.
We should have. It was around the 2010-11 area when instead of him we probably bought Jovanovic or some clown like that. Some helmet.
Imagine if we kept David Silva, lad, that would have been amazing. Steven Gerrard in the midfield.
Yeah, oh my days.
Wouldn't that be
I would love to have seen Steven Gerrard and Jude Bellingham. I think, you know how the generations, I think he's going to be the next Stevie G.
He's up there, man. He's banging for Dortmund.
What a goal he scored the other day, by the way. Second to Bayern, they won 4-0. The race in Italy is hot. Juventus drew with Inter in the last minute yesterday. And at the top, I believe it is Napoli, I think, at the top. And they drew 0-0 with Roma. And the French league, did you see what happened for PSG v Marseille? It was a draw, but there was a red card. I think Hakimi.
I've been too busy watching the Manchester United highlights.
But yesterday was a mad day of sport. Like all these mad games happened, and a fan ran on the pitch when Messi had the ball.
Yeah.
He's running on towards goal. Messi's got the ball, and then this fan just runs on and fucking slide tackles him. And it's like, what
shut up.
Yeah. Messi's like, is this league a joke? Like, you just let a man run on and slide tackle me. Like, what the fuck?
Wait, was it a good slide tackle?
He ran on and went up to Messi with the ball. Messi was like, what's going on here? And I think he just got pulled away kind of thing. But for a fan to run on...
But did he slide tackle him, I mean?
I don't know about the slide tackle.
Oh, are you exaggerating that? Oh, what the fuck? I thought he was like one to like right there and then...
He might have slide tackled him. I don't actually know. All I've seen is this video and then, I don't know, someone called me. So
I'll have to watch that.
Again. But the video showed a guy running up to Messi when he was like dribbling, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
So yeah, big results in Europe. Let's briefly talk about this week because we can't rest now. This is where we have to go super ham and play to be honest, you can't play at a higher level than Liverpool are playing at the minute, but we've got to. Preston on Wednesday, a lot of changes for that. Kelleher will probably be in goal.
Do you want to do a little loud position for that?
Might as well, yeah, it'd be fun.
I'm obviously not going to do another one of these episodes before the game. Kelleher, definitely. Shimakash, that's nailed on. Do you give it to Nico or do you leave Trent? Do you persist with Trent? Because Trent, he came back from an injury not too long ago.
I'd go Nico and then bring Trent on. For the last 20.
If Nico's having a poor half, you bring on Trent to that. Okay, I'm fine with that. Centre backs, can I take Gomez?
Phillips.
No. Phillips, I don't.
Give him a game.
How do you
give him a fucking game, James?
So do you reckon you drop?
He assisted Jota at Old Trafford last season and scored against fucking.
Where'd you get him then?
kept clean sheet against Benzema in the Champions
Well,
League.
where'd you get him again?
At Preston.
I don't think you do.
You do. You played
think
him
so?
and you played Joe Gomez. That's
What
what
about
you do.
Canate?
Chill for Brighton. But then
That's
so
what I'm
where's
saying.
that?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
My
So
voice is fucking.
you've got to start. You've got to start Canate and Gomez. Canate doesn't play week in, week out, lads. And Gomez needs a game.
How about this? Phillips, Canate, Gomez right back. How about that one?
Ooh, I like that. And I like Gomez at right back more
Yeah.
than Nico at right back. Yeah, man.
We'll go with that then.
Yeah, man.
Keller in goal.
Even though that will not happen.
No, won't happen. But
Well,
it'd be
we
great
can
to
dream.
see it happen. I think this should be the team though.
So Gomez right back, Canate and Nat Phillips at the back. Okay. Midfield.
Curtis.
I suggested Tyler Morton earlier on.
That
Should
Leighton
give him a
Clarkson's
game.
gone to Blackburn, hasn't he?
Yeah, but Tyler Morton has a good half a
Tyler
season watch as
Morton,
well.
I feel like if this was 2 years ago, you'd see Pedro Chirivella play.
That's what I mean. That's
So it's that kind of, yeah.
So yeah, how
Who's
about this?
fit?
Curtis John, well,
Who's
yeah,
fit?
Naby's out, Milner's out.
Thiago's out.
Right, I reckon you do this. Tyler
Yeah,
Morton for the holding role, that's what his primary role is. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones. That's a saucy
Because
little
Fabinho's
midfield.
out, Kate is out, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's
Thiago. And
you've got to give Henderson a rest
Yeah.
for the big games.
Go on then. And we'll bring Hendo on if we need to.
Exactly.
That's the plan. So
Tyler Morton
Morton,
struggling at 45 minutes, we'll do the same
Yeah.
as what we were going to do with Nico when he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
starting.
so yeah, Tyler Morton, the Ox in like the right bit and then Curtis in the left
Of
bit.
course.
And then up top, Divock, Minamino
And
Mane.
I reckon you go with Thiago. Just because I'm thinking you put Manny back in for Brighton. But if you want to start Manny and then start him against Brighton as well, I'm fine with that.
Mane and Jota are just literally, they both play, both score, both get subbed off, both get
The only
blocked,
player
both
who's
score,
guaranteed,
both...
the only player who's guaranteed his place in the squad right now is Salah. Jota is giving Firmino and Mane a run for their top.
Yeah.
Trust
But then they always come back in and do well anyway.
I know, and this is what I've been trying to say for fucking years.
Interesting who
This
starts
is
against
nothing
Brighton,
but good. This is nothing but good. To have these options, to have just alternatives all the time, that was the reason why maybe it could have got to a point where Bobby and Manny were trying, because there was no competition for them in the start. Now,
right.
they have not got guaranteed positions.
So who we
Let's
going for?
believe that's a natural emotion for you to try and do better. I reckon it'll probably be Manny, because he got rested for the United.
Mane, Divock and Taki.
We've got to rest Manny for the big games.
So
you know
call
what I mean?
me.
Preston's a bigger game than United.
Oof.
Probably based on competition at the moment.
Oof.
I reckon Preston will give us a better game than
Seth
United did.
Vanderberg is playing for them, probably, right?
And what?
Well,
I don't think he'll be allowed to play against
no,
us.
yeah, he won't be. Right. up
Obviously, we
top.
signed Ben Davies from them.
Shit, we did.
That was
No,
where we
was he
signed
at
Ben
Sheffield
Davies.
United? No?
Yeah.
Wow. Fair enough.
Got a bit of history there with Preston.
And then Brighton on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah. I reckon that'll be another.
Adam Lallana coming back to Anfield
If he plays.
if he doesn't get injured.
Yeah. If he doesn't get injured.
Big up to Adam Lallana though. Premier
was
League, Champions
poor.
League winner.
He was one of the players, was it 17, 18?
Yeah.
Or 16, 17 it
16,
was.
17, he was sick.
Amazing. He was
Yeah.
probably the best player that year.
Yeah, I'd say that. Him and Lucas, maybe.
Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas was sick that year.
16, 17.
Look out, mate.
Was he still alive?
Yeah, was captain of us a lot. Scored
okay.
a header away at Plymouth, I think.
Why did I think that Lucas just didn't start for us in that period?
Oh, bro, he played a lot that season.
I
Him
remember
and
him playing
Emre
against
Can.
Everton when I went to an Everton game.
I love Lucas Leiva. There's so many players like that that have played for a long time.
Who do you reckon is the most scout Brazilian that we've ever had? Fabinho or Lucas?
Lucas.
Fabinho.
Give Fabinho the time. Chicken lad. Do you want some chicken
Longevity
lad?
Lucas.
Yeah, longevity Lucas.
I like it.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, Lucas is a baller, lad.
I love Lucas.
And he's been heavy since he left.
Lazio.
He's a
He's
baller,
a
isn't he?
baller, bro. He's sick. I love him. He plays with Pepe Reina and Luis Alberto at Lazio.
Do you know what I'd love? Bring Pepe Reina back just in January.
Nah.
No, and don't even play him, just let him win a Premier League with us, lads.
Yeah. Well, if we're doing that, then we might as well fucking tell Gerald to get his boots on.
Yeah. Rangers fans will be fucking fuming with us, like, but still, why not?
Yeah. Right then, let's call it a day there. Episode 12 of Hot Kopics. My voice is totally gone. But yeah, the Mold Trafford special.
That was just a fun stream.
That was good. It was not a stream, it's a pre-recording. But we've also decided as well that we're going to do some more content in Jurgen's.
Should we give them a little teaser
Yeah.
of what we're thinking?
Go on.
So in Jurgen's, basically, there's like a pool table right there, and what we were thinking, right, because we've obviously got Jack, the greatest cameraman in the world, we're thinking about like just doing something mad and getting guests on and having a little game of pool with them. And I don't know, I just think that'd be a good idea. Me and Alex will be hosting the show, and something exciting that we could possibly introduce for the channel. We're going to sort out everything in between and the little details, but once we do, keep an eye out on that. I think that'll be a really fun little concept. We're going to get some of your favourite people around the city, different content creators on the show. It's just going to be like a podcast, but in a different format. So
having a drink, laid back, pool and chat. Can't really chat more than that, can you? Right, a big up again to you guys for smashing the likes on this video.
Check out the vlog, check out the match day content.
Go check out the vlog, mate, yeah. And this week, of course, we're going to be in Preston on Wednesday night, and then we will be doing a match preview for the Brighton game on Friday, and then we will be at Brighton at the Anfield for Saturday's 3 o'clock kickoff, and it's going to be great. Fan cams on that one to come as well, and then next one's a massive one as well. Atletico Madrid again.
Man United, you
it's all mad.
Oh, pussies.
Yeah, Man United. Get out!
Get out, United! Get out!
Ollie in.
Ollie in.